back to Timoteo TV, second segment of our Week 6 preview. So let's jump right into it. As we said, those first 3 games we shared, great games. These next 3, just as good. So bring a chair, get comfortable because you're going to want to sit and watch all of these games. All of them, every single one. Starting with here, 4:30, Cowboys Pack. Now the Cowboys are 2-3. Pack are 5-0. Now on paper that may look like, oh well, the Pack are going to win. It's going to be well, but I mean, we're talking about 2-time defending Urban Bowl champs. A lot of guys coming back. They're having some turmoil, but still a solid team. And so it's still going to probably be a really good game. But who do you think is going to end up winning this, Chris?
I'm going to tell you right now. I've been saying it since the beginning. The curse of the Cowboys. And that curse, they shouldn't have changed the name. If they were the Redskins, they'd be 4-1 right now. They'd be 4-1. But right now, they changed the name. And I'm telling you, there's turmoil in Cowboy land. And I think this matchup, I look at the Cowboys. They're 2-3. And they got to face the Packers and the Raiders within the last 3 weeks. Now, they play a Justice team, and they'll probably win that. I forget who they play. But I'll tell you right now, they got to win 2 more games to get in. We're looking at maybe winning 1 more. And typically I would say the Cowboys and Packers are always good no matter what the standings are. But I don't know. I think the curse is in full effect. And the Packers, better than I've ever seen them playing. I mean, these dudes, there's unity, there's all this. And I just think the Cowboys... The thing is, the bigger opponent this week against the Cowboys isn't the Packers, it's the Cowboys. They got to play themselves, and I think that mentally they can't do it. So I think the Packers are going to win this thing 24-13.
All right. That's cool. What do you think, Rodney?
I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, so I'm picking you guys to win. Quentin, Reggie, thing 1, thing 2, whatever you guys like to call yourselves. It's time to carry your team to victory. You guys are playing like just because we won the Urban Bowl last year, we can slack off and do what we want. No. It's time to turn it up. It's time to go run wild, as the Road Warriors would say. It's time to go and carry your team to victory against these Packers. I mean, these Packers are a great team. I mean, Kyler, man, that's one of my favorite players in the league, and he's pretty good. Christian, man, awesome. Grabs flags, defends well, just total package when you need as a player on defense. And like I said, I enjoy watching those 2 guys play. And some other guys, but we're not going to get into names of that. But as I said, the Cowboys pull it out 30-24 behind Quentin and Reggie's running game.
Woo, 30-24, buddy. What happened to that defense? What's going to happen if we give up 30 points?
If we give up 30 points, it's because they scored on our second team. But the Cowboys, again, I mean, the Cowboys are a real good team. I mean, I'm not going to come here and say we're going to blow out the Cowboys. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. The Cowboys have to find a way to get it together. They haven't gelled all season long. Seems like they've been playing real individualistic. You know what I mean? From what I hear, Newt is banged up. Newt probably not going to even play in this game. And then I think he has the All-Star game that day, so they're going to be without Superman. But Quentin said he's ready to step up again and take the reins and carry his team down to the playoffs. But the thing is, they need their whole team to build in that philosophy there. They come and they don't warm up, they don't stretch, they kind of take teams and underestimate them. So I know they're not going to underestimate us. We've played them a lot this year. They're going to come ready to play. Their quarterback has a tremendous arm, Randall, you know what I mean? And if they can get together, they're a scary team. Now, I don't want them to get it together on us, you know what I mean? White Boy is coming off his best game as a Packer ever, throwing 8 touchdown passes last week. And he looked unstoppable, just kind of picking that defense apart. The Cowboys, defensively, I haven't seen their best this year. So I don't know what they're going to bring this week. But all I know is they're going to come and they're going to play physical. Now, White Boy has also thrown touchdown passes to 8 different receivers. So it's not just one guy you got to shut down. You don't have to just worry about Kyler, Christian, or he throws it to everybody. You got Joe, Josh, all the guys that they're capable of scoring touchdowns. But in this game, I just think the Packers are on a roll right now. The Cowboys have too many question marks. And maybe it's closer than I think it's going to be. But I got us winning 34-20. Packers.
Well, that's spoken from a head coach's point of view. You understand?
So far, I'm 5-0 with my picks. So.
Yeah,
it's true. But okay, 6 o'clock game, guys. This huge game, must-win game for both teams. This is big time. Both teams 2-3. Cards versus Colts. Must win. Yeah. Cardinals haven't quite lived up to expectations. Colts have had some surprising games, both on the winning and losing side of things.
Yeah.
Chris, what's going to happen
There
here?
is not a bigger game, more important game this week. I'm going to predict right now the loser of this game will be in the Poor Four. They will be the third team sitting there with the Jets and the Lions in the Poor Four. I mark my words. Now, for me, the Cardinals, they had to face the 49ers and the Panthers after this. The Colts, they have to face the boys and the Jets. So the Colts have an easier road. And so the Cardinals, it's now or never. If they don't win this game, they're done. They're absolutely history. So this game is huge. I think with the backs against the wall, the Cards find a way to win this game, and they're going to win this thing 33-25. It's going to be a close one. And it's going to be one of those last-second kind of deals, where they're big. It's going to be exciting. It's a good game. Watch it.
So what's your point of view here, Ryan? I'm sure the outcome's not the same in your prediction,
no.
What do you think's going to happen?
I totally disagree with Chris, man. Just behind Stefan's arm and Sharif's 49 catches, which is close to the record. I mean, Sharif has been playing awesome this year. He's amazing. I'm looking on defense when Sharif's on defense, and no one ever throws to his side. The Raiders made a mistake of throwing to his side last week, and it was picked off. I mean, that was his first interception. He gets bored on Sharif's island. I mean, it's just embarrassing for teams not to throw to his side. But behind Stefan's arm, he still leads the league with only throwing one touchdown pass, with the most touchdown passes in the league, which is 27. He's a great quarterback. He just needs to stay calm, composed, and also just heed what his coaches is telling him to do on the field. I got us winning, and behind all that, the Cardinals' defense is just, oh man, Leroy was throwing bombs from Afghanistan, bombs from China, and it was just bombs everywhere. It was horrible. It seems like it was World War II out there. It was just horrible against the Cards' defense. But I got us winning 41-20.
41-20. All right, buddy. Break this tie. Who is it?
Well, listen, man, you got the Cardinals. I don't know what kind of football they're playing over there. They had very high expectations. They have a lot of great players over there, and they just haven't been able to get it together. I mean, look, to be honest, the only two teams they beat so far are the Lions and the Jets.
Yeah.
That's it. They haven't beat anyone yet. You know what I mean? They competed in some games, but they haven't beat anyone yet. If they're going to turn around, it has to be this week against the Colts. If not, then they're going to find themselves in a heap of trouble. Now, the Colts, man, after beating the 49, I said, man, maybe I'm glad we don't play the Colts. But then after watching their last two games, I'm like, man, maybe I do want to play the Colts. I don't know what this team is here. You know what I mean? Stephen Knight was on fire, and these last two games, he's been one of the coldest quarterbacks in the league. So he's got to pick it up. You know what I mean? They got receivers over there, they can kind of throw it to. I mean, Sharif, he's an amazing guy to throw the ball to. You know what I mean? And Kadir, I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than that. This guy's huge. He's mossing everybody. But I'm going to break it down here. The Colts are a fluke. All right? That win against the 49ers was a fluke. All right? They're not going to pull it off this week. All right? The Cardinals are here. They're getting it together. I talked to Cornell today. He said, man, they had the best practice they've ever had this week. You know what I mean? They're focusing on defense. They said we're going to shut down these Colts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been on the low streak. We're going to shut them down. And I told him, I said, looking at the tape, I said, I think the Colts were lucky in these last couple. I don't know if they're a real team or not, but I guess we're going to find out this week. You know what I mean?
Hey.
And I'm going to have to go with the Cardinals here. I think they might be more for real than the Colts. And I got the Cardinals win this game a close one, 20-19.
Right.
But mark my words. Mark my words. The New York Giants went 9-7 to win the Super Bowl. The Colts are going to go 5-3 and win the Urban Bowl.
Oh, there we go.
Bold prediction.
Bold prediction.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
he's jumping ahead here already, but we'll see what happens this week.
All right.
Final game here. This is a great one.
Yeah.
This Eagles, Vikings, two teams that know each other well, been playing each other for years. But interesting enough, if you look back in the kind of the history of Timoteo, I feel like almost always going into these games. The Vikings have had some great teams. Don't get me wrong, but the Eagles are usually always that favored team, right? Like Vikings are always kind of that step brother or something that were good, but just weren't quite there. But coming into this game, the Vikings have looked sharp, looked good. Is this the year? Is this year they're going to put the Eagles to the side and step up?
This could be the most entertaining game of the week. I'm going to say it right now. In terms of just a battle, I think it's going to be a great game. Defensively, offensively, I think it's going to. Now, the rest of the season, the Vikings still have to play the Panthers and the Packers. and the Eagles have to play the Ravens and 49ers. So it's not cakewalk for either one of them. And Vikings really only need to have one more win, to get in. Eagles got to get 2. So this is a must win for the Eagles. I think, I just think, can the Vikings put the nail in the coffin and end it for the Eagles? I don't know. I think the Eagles, every time they've had their backs against the wall, have stepped up and have done what they need to do to win. I think they do the same thing this week. I think they knock off the Vikings' 3-game win streak, ends now, and I think it's going to be the Eagles 25, Vikings 19.
All right.
Good prediction.
Rodney.
Yeah, I actually agree with Chris on this one. I've been agreeing with him all segment, and and his picks usually are the great ones. But I have.
That's right. I like it. We might just bring it back.
I have the Eagles winning 22-12 behind Leroy's big arm, his great decision making on the field, and he must. And I mean, there's a must. He must utilize the guy they call Flash. Please utilize him. He's everywhere on the field. And please, Leroy, make great decisions against these Vikings. I mean, they don't have Shameed anymore. He's over here with us. We call him Mittens because he has big hands like Hakeem Nicks, customized gloves and all. And he's a pretty good safety. And we actually thank the Vikings for allowing him to come over. Thank you, guys. You guys are not smart for doing such thing. But, as I said, Leroy, I just need you to get reparation for Shameed for allowing the team to let him go that way and win this game. 22-12, got the Eagles winning.
All right, buddy. You going to go on with this? You got the Vikes.
Well, listen, I mean, like the Eagles, they came and they balled last week against the Cardinals. Yeah. I mean, and as much as you want to say Leroy, I mean, he did have a tremendous game. Yeah. But the Eagles' defense stepped it up, and they came back and looked like a legitimate defense. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, that's what's going to be for the Eagles. Can they continue to do that? You know what I mean? Now, Leroy, the week before, he threw like 25 interceptions. This last week, I believe he didn't throw any.
He played a justice team.
Well, that could be. But I mean, he's in for a tough test this week because the Vikings defense is no joke. Ever since they got rid of Shameed, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. All right. So the Vikings have turned it around. Then now Team Shameed now over there with the Colts. Now they're not looking so pretty. But the Vikings, you know what I mean? When they score 25 points, they're undefeated this year. Because the defense doesn't give up a lot. Yeah. So if they can score 25 points against the Eagles, who've been letting everyone score 25 points, then they can win this game. I mean, John Almeida, I first started looking at him. I don't like lefty quarterback because it just looks weird to me. But he has been balling. You know what I mean? Him getting the ball to P-Doc, Gio, and Chris Breezy. I mean, these guys, have been making it look easy for him. You know what I mean? But the thing is you got to watch out for John because if you blitz him, he has very elusive speed. You don't think he's so quick, and he just, bang, dives right into the end zone. He has no respect for his body at all, just kind of diving all over the place. But in this game, in this tight game, I believe that's going to shape someone's season. This will make, usually the Eagles game is a stepping stone. If you beat the Eagles, you're considered a contender in this league. You know what I mean? So it's up to the Eagles to prove, are the Eagles for real or the Vikings not so good? We're going to find out this week. But I got the Vikings winning this game 26-20. I think that defense over there is too good. I think Leroy, I don't know if he can bring it this week. We'll see.
All right.
Eagles as we know it.
I don't agree.
Well, I've probably said it 2 or 3 times already, but this is a week you do not want to miss.
Must watch.
You must come out. If you want to see some good games, this is the time. This is Timoteo at its best. So as usual, make sure you're checking that website, TimoteoFootball.com. Follow us on Twitter, Timoteo Sports. Updates about, last week we had some field changes and all that. Make sure you're checking that out so you know where we're at and what's happening and any changes that may occur. So thanks for joining us again, and we can't wait to see you out there on the field.